Hi, so in the previous movie, I've shown you how to create a label and link it to the code. So now in this movie, I'll show you a couple more ways to link your label to the code. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be searching here for label and I'll drag drop this label here. I'll change this label text to label 1 and I'll grab this handle all the way. So now I'll be connecting this label to the code but in a different manner. So for connecting this label to code, I'll go to viewController.swift file and below this line I'll write @IB outlet. So what is IB outlet? IB means interface builder, which was a precursor application to Xcode, which was used to build the UIs. But now Xcode itself has the UI building capabilities, but the nomenclature has come from the precursors. So it's a IB outlet and I'll declare it as a variable. So I'll name it as my label 1. I'll hit colon and it's of type UI label and then I'll hit exclamation mark. Now this exclamation mark means that my label 1 can be null, but I know it will not be null. Another symbol in place of exclamation mark we can use is the question mark, which says that my label 1 can be null and it may be null. So Swift will wrap that variable, and if you want to use that variable, we have to unwrap it and then use it. So for now our exclamation mark will suffice. So now I'll go to the viewDidLoad method and I'll change the my label 1 dot text property to be equal to changed from viewDidLoad, and I'll change this one to tab button. I'll run the application and I'll see whether it works or not. So I'll go to the simulator and wait for my app to load. So now as we can see, there is a fatal error because there is no connection from this my label 1 to our UI. If we see, we have a whole circle on the previously created my label which was working. My label 1 has a hollow circle, which means it is not connected. So I'll hide the debug area and I'll start creating the connection. I'll hide the navigator and the utilities area and I'll show both the files, and I'll go to my first app, the storyboard file. I'll stop the app. So in order to connect my label 1 to this label, what I can do is I can command click or right click and I can drag it onto my label 1 and leave the mouse. So we see this dark grayish dot has appeared, which means our connection is working. Now if I save the project and run the app, I should see my app working in the simulator. So we see it is changed from viewDidLoad method. So now I'll stop the app and I'll show you one more way of connecting the label to the code. So I'll go to my default view and I'll show both the panes. I'll go to the project navigator. I'll drag drop another label and I'll be connecting it the third way. I'll change this label to label 2 and I'll drag this handle to the end. Now I'll go to viewcontroller.swift file and I'll copy this code. I'll paste it again. And I'll change this label 1 to label 2. Now again I see a hollow circle, which means it is not connected. Now in order to connect this one, what we can do is go to the main.storyboard file where our label is there, and we need to click this button, which is the connection inspector button, and we need to select this yellow dot, which is the view controller. We can also select view controller from our document outline, which is here. Either way will work. So I'll hide this document outline from now for now, and I'll click this view controller. So now I can see this my label 2 is free in the outlets. What we can do is we can click this circle and drag it onto our label, which creates the connection, and then go into viewcontroller.swift file, copy this code, paste it below this, changed my, and I can change it to changed my label 2 from view.load. So I'll save this and I'll show you that it runs perfectly fine. So the build is succeeded. So from this lesson we learned the 3 ways to connect our controls to the code. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to. That's right.